Alrighty guys, it is Quaman here today, and I am joined with two guests.
What's going on, everybody? It's Thundershot.
And Rhymestyle.
And yes, Thundershot and Rhymestyle, and we are here to bring you some major news that has been released about Dragon Ball Z. But in this video specifically, we will be covering certain things about this movie, ranging from the aura or certain character appearances and projections about the movie itself. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into this video.
Sweet.
So, let's begin with the aura.
Okay, well, so it's funny, when this poster came out this morning, I did not pay any attention to it, mostly because I was, like, still dead asleep. I woke up, I recorded it, and then when I got to work, I realized, holy crap, Frieza has an aura. Because, like, the thing that bothered me the most this morning is, like, why Frieza? Because if you do the math, this is at least 15 years after the events on Namek. So it's like, Frieza obviously would come back at a really weak power level. So he has to come back at either an immortal state, which is still not going to be strong enough to beat the Saiyans, or at a god state. And that's when, like, when I put two and two together, I saw the aura, I was like, wait a minute, what if Frieza comes back in god form?
And see, god form is, like, obviously the first go-to, but if you, like, can't look at that as an option, I've been super torn on how else they could bring Frieza back. Because on one hand, Frieza's out of transformations, as far as we know. He may have found another one like Cooler had, even though Cooler's not really canon and all that stuff. But how could Frieza have gotten so strong? Because Frieza was so weak at the time that he got defeated, compared to now, where Goku has found two other transformations, then a God transformations, which makes those two other transformations obsolete because the God form is so strong. How could Frieza even hope to compete? And part of me is like, there's no way any amount of training could catch him up on that. And the other half's like, well, he's in Otherworld, and that's supposed to help a whole lot. So I was totally torn, and I think God, becoming a god of something, is gonna have to definitely gonna have to influence that some. That's gotta be the only thing I can think of.
Quan, what do you think?
Well, honestly, when I look at this, one thing that gets me is what Thundershot reported not too long ago about Vegeta. And you remember you said that Akira Toriyama said that in the next Dragon Ball Z movie that would come up, that Vegeta was going to be the primary character.
Yes, and that sparks a question too, because they're still focused on Goku.
Actually, let me throw something out there. I was looking something up. I forgot what the article was, but it was a credible source, and it was like an interview that was done with Toriyama around the release of this movie's information. I don't know if it was like a recent update or one that we missed, but Toriyama did say that he had intentions of making the next movie about Vegeta, but then decided not to. So that's already kind of thrown out there.
I want to find that article, because
I will send it to you as soon as we're off this. But that's like, because I read that this morning, and I was like, when the hell did he say that?
Because I don't remember him saying that either, but that would change everything about a lot of people's speculations, because there's a lot of people out there who want Vegeta to be the hero in this one.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he's still going to be, because, like, something has to happen where it's like, you know, Frieza will obviously be stronger than Super Saiyan God Goku in this movie, because it has to be, because it can't be, like, you know, one-sided. So something has to happen where Vegeta's strength will be needed in this fight, because he's obviously on the poster.
Look at how big he is on the poster. I was going to point that out, too.
Big spot on the poster. But, Kwame, what do you think?
Well, that was a very good thing that you said, because I was making a big prediction that Vegeta would end up killing Frieza or stopping him in some way, kind of like we have always wanted, because you know part of us has always wanted Vegeta to beat Frieza, and that's kind of what I was projecting was going to happen.
But
who knows?
You know what? I'm so happy you pointed that out, because I always wanted that, and I completely forgot about that. And now that we actually might have a chance of him actually getting revenge for his people, his family.
The Prince of all Saiyans taking it back.
Oh my God! Please, Toriyama, make that happen.
That is so awesome. There's so many things. There's so many things we could speculate with this. I don't want to get too off topic, but one thing that I like just from looking at the poster. Well, go ahead, Ryan.
No, you go ahead. I want to point out something else.
One thing that I like just from looking at the poster, we see Piccolo. We see what we think could be Gohan, Goten, or Yamcha without scars. We see bald Krillin, and they introduced two new Frieza soldiers. So it looks like people, apart from just Goku, are actually going to have a significant role in this. Obviously, in the last movie, Vegeta did his thing to keep Beerus under control, and then he landed a couple punches that didn't do anything. But Goku has been the main guy for so long. It's going to be nice to see, even if they're just battling Frieza soldiers, some of the lower power level guys back in action.
Yeah, I wonder what the hell these two guys have been doing for the last 15 years. We're just like
I
chilling.
was going to ask that too.
No, but here's something I want to point out. So Goku's aura is red. Beerus' aura is like purplish. Why is Frieza's like an orange reddish? Like I feel like he should be purple too, because he's got the purple evil aura. So that's something else to kind of point out.
You point that out as I look at the poster. Goku has red, like purple lightning in the upper left, and Vegeta has blue lightning in the upper right. There's so much in this thing.
Yeah, what if that's not actually Goku in the corner. No, I'm not gonna start that now, because you all know the whole evil Goku theories that people keep tossing around.
Oh Christ!
But speaking of Goku, you guys notice the little logo he has on his shirt?
I did. I did take notice to that.
So, Thundershot, you pointed something out that the time this takes place possibly after Battle of Gods.
So it's speculation, it's rumor. I reported it as something that I thought to be fact, but I'm going to retract that statement now. But I did a report earlier that said that looked like the mark of what could be training under Beerus. Now, the thing is that with this movie's time place, Beerus is obviously awake, and at the end of Battle of Gods, Whis says he knocked him out for 3 years. Beerus is going to be out for 3 years. So this is at least 3 years. If he trained under Beerus, we can assume it's closer to 5 years ahead of the last time. That way Goku actually had time to train under Beerus, but that's just my thoughts on it.
Which is exactly why I think that's Goten in the bottom right, because he's way too young to be Gohan, and if you look at the picture, it looks like Gohan when he was around 11, 12-ish.
Well, based on what Thundershot was just reporting with the timeline placements, I just did the math. And that would mean, if you're saying this movie takes place 3 years after, then that would mean Goten would be 14.
Mm-hmm.
See, in 5 years would put him at 16, and that looks like a 16-year-old Goten to me.
Yeah, which excites me, because I want Goten to do something cool, because Goten is my favorite of the two. He's my favorite of the two. I want him to do something, so it's like, that excites me. Everybody watching this video, feel free to like throw in your comments, your 2 cents in the comment section as well. You think it's Goten? You think it's Gohan? You think it's Yamcha? Maybe use the Dragon Balls to get rid of scars. Like, let us know in the comments below.
Was there actually a scene in the Dragon Ball Z anime where Frieza was shown in Otherworld that was not a filler episode?
No. And from my understanding, in the manga, the Otherworld does not exist, which is the thing that always bothered me about Otherworld. It doesn't exist for evil guys. Because like when Vegeta lost his life to Majin Buu, he didn't keep his body. But if he was evil, technically he should have just went to hell with the rest of the guys.
Because what we're looking at is we saw Frieza goofing around with Cell and Otherworld, not really doing anything. Toriyama could completely rewrite that if that's not if that's not manga canon.
Definitely
Frieza
true.
could have a completely different experience in Otherworld, doing all kinds of crazy shenanigans.
Which is the point that I made when I made my video this morning. Was like, well, you got to be at least dead for no more than a year to get revived. So I feel like if that's the case, Toriyama just kind of forgot his own rules.
Which wouldn't be the first time.
Yep.
What I wanted to point out is, do you guys think that this movie was somewhat foreshadowed with Frieza in the first place? Because in the first Battle of Gods movie, I don't know, it's called The Worst Wish Ever, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So in the first movie, you know, Beerus was talking about Frieza and all of this and how, you know, Goku defeated Frieza and all. And because of the fact that Beerus and Whis never mentioned, like, any of the other more powerful villains that came afterwards, it kind of like lets me think that this was kind of planned like well in advance.
It sets a foundation that makes sense. And for the record, we just agreed that it was called The Worst Wish Ever. It's called Frieza's Resurrection, or at least roughly translates to that. But Worst Wish in history is part of the main trailer, so it's kind of the same thing.
Which, by the way, I completely goofed on that this morning when I made a video. I was like, I don't know what Fukkatsu means. It's English. It's Frieza Reborn. That's what it means. Revival of Frieza. That's the official English translation of the movie.
But yeah, I think you're onto something with that, Qualman, because Beerus was asleep so long he would have never known about Cell, which is completely okay. Majin Buu, however, he sleeps for a long time, he gets awakened, he destroys galaxies, worlds, whatever like that. So it is strange that Beerus didn't bother to mention Majin Buu in the past, considering the last time he was awake, Majin Buu definitely happened before then also. So that is an interesting point.
And I still kind of have a theory, just to go off that, I still have a deep down theory that Buu was the ultimate creation of a Beerus. Because Beerus like takes long naps, so you need someone to kind of do the destroying while he's gone. And I feel like Buu was ultimately the creation of Beerus at some point.
See, I think Buu causes less destruction when he wakes up, and he takes longer naps.
Yep.
Yeah. That's kind of weird. So my thing, just to go back real quick to Goku possibly being trained under Beerus, which again is something that we don't really know for sure right now. Part of me is like, why wouldn't he be trained under Whis? If Whis is the guy training Beerus, he's stronger. Another thing that sparks into my mind is you would assume, no matter how strong Frieza is, no matter who Goku's been training under, that Whis, if he felt like it, could end Frieza's life in half a second. So I'm wondering if Beerus and Whis are going to be kind of like the vibe I got from the movie. They didn't care if the Earth got blown up or not. They were very neutral about everything. So you think they're just going to kind of sit back and grab their popcorn and watch Goku and Frieza battle out, or watch the Z Fighters do their thing, or what do you think?
I say no, because remember Beerus in the movie said, in Battle of Gods, he says, I'm going to kill Frieza. Like, he basically wanted to go and kill him. So I feel like he has some kind of feelings towards Frieza. Especially now that if he does end up being like God form Frieza, I feel like now that he's actually strong, that Beerus is going to be more compelled to fight him.
What do you think, Clawman? Do you think Beerus and Whis are going to be good and bad guys? Do you think they're kind of going to be in the middle?
I definitely think that based on the poster, and I mean, you know, it's just a poster, but I think that Beerus and Whis are definitely going to have a much bigger role, especially in terms of action. And, you know, if you look at Whis in the picture, it kind of looks like he's fighting. Like, if you take a glance at like his movement and stuff, it looks like he's like somewhat involved in the action, and that leads me to believe that Whis and Beerus are actually going to have a role against Frieza, because they probably don't want him to become a god like them. So
it's scary to think, and I would kind of be upset if Frieza comes out and he's so powerful Whis can't even like do any damage to him, because then that means we never got to see the great Whis, who was so good in the last movie. We didn't even get to see him fight. That would kind of, it would suck to me if we actually never got to see Whis break out his power. But if we assume that that's the case, let's just assume for a second Frieza's so strong Whis and Beerus can't touch him. Goku and Vegeta at the top of the poster like that, I have to talk about it. What if they fuse?
I was about to say that. I was literally about to say that. I'm hoping that that is the case. Because remember, everyone watching this in case you missed it, this movie is going to be 2 hours long. And from what Toriyama's team said, it's going to be mostly action. So remember how Battle of Gods was like mostly comedy and then like really 20 minutes of fighting? This movie is going to be mostly fighting and action. So obviously there's going to be a ton of fights. So based on what you just said, I think that what's going to happen is they might lose the fight for whatever reason. And it'll come down to Goku and Vegeta. And I really, really think... Well, I don't think. I hope that we do get the fusion, because, well, then again, Gogeta technically isn't canon, and they, yet. But wait, here's something that I want both of you guys to clear up for me. Don't you have to be the same height to fuse?
Around the same height, not exactly.
Well, if we look at how much Vegeta managed to grow from the Saiyan saga to the Buu saga, it's been 5 more years, so you know.
Yeah, but even on that poster, it's not the same height unless you count their hairs. So that's the only thing that bothers me about the Gogeta fusion is like you have to be the same height, and the fact that they're not is like, well, I don't think it's gonna happen. But something I do want to point out is, and I really hope this happens. Have you guys seen a picture of the blue-haired fan-made Super Saiyan God Vegeta? I hope he gets blue hair. And the fact that you pointed out to me in this video that the blue lightning, yeah, I really hope that Toriyama saw that picture and that inspired him to give him a different look. Because like, even though I love Super Saiyan God Goku, I don't want everybody to have red hair. I want everybody to have their own unique like, you know, aura that makes them. Because like, if you look at it, Goku is supposed to be red because he had the Kaioken ever since, you know, the beginning. Like that Kaioken kind of defined who he was. And like, you know how every person when they power up in Dragon Ball Z, they have their own aura? I feel like Super Saiyan God is defined by what aura you have, which is why I pointed out earlier, I was like, shouldn't Frieza have more of a darkish purpley aura instead of like the orange one? And you saw Beerus had like a dark purple as well, because that's his aura.
Well, when I look at Frieza's aura, I think of Beerus's final blast to Goku. That's like the exact same color to me.
That's a good point.
And it's that dark, evil, like earth-destroying energy that he was throwing there, and that's what Frieza. That's all of what Frieza is.
And then also to point out, his signature move, the Supernova, was orange as well. So I guess you're right. You're right. But either way, I hope because Vegeta was kind of had like a blue aura, so I really hope that he does end up having a blue tint to his Super Saiyan God form. That's gonna make me so excited. Colin, what do you think about that?
Well, guys, you know, obviously Piccolo is my favorite character, so I'm gonna ask just the fan in me. The fan in me is gonna ask, does Piccolo become a Namekian god? Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
Okay, so here's how I play that. Piccolo uses the multi-form technique to make 5 of themselves.
Exactly.
And they all hold hands and give energy to one of the strong, like one of the Piccolos, and then they all form back into him for a mega Namekian god.
Just for
and he can grant wishes now.
You know what?
Well, I'll just say this for a little bit of Dragon Ball Z education. Kami directly translates as God, so BAM! Piccolo is a god.
He's got a good point. But something I was gonna point out
Kami's
is
God. All the Kais are gods. Beerus is a god.
Technically, doesn't Goku or somebody, one of the Saiyans know multiform as well? Or can at least learn it? I feel like they could just make themselves Super Saiyan gods.
It might be cheating. It'd be like multi-form techniquing and then fusing with yourself. I don't know. No, another fanny thing kind of off the wall. You think about it, there are potential for 5 Super Saiyan gods in the world. If all it takes is holding hands and giving energy to one of them. Now, Goku and possibly Vegeta could be the only ones to me that have like the body training to retain that like Goku did, retain the power. But it's not impossible. I mean, they decide they want to power up Goten and Gohan and the the 6-year-old kid
And the
or whatever
Trunks,
we
yeah.
have now.
I mean,
so.
all I know is
What-
if that's really Goten in the picture, he's in there for a reason.
Well,
And Trunks could do it. We could have a Super Saiyan God Gotenks or something.
guys, I
Oh my
wanted
God.
to point out an important detail. Remember in the manga in Dragon Ball Z, they said that Goten got a hair change because they didn't want him to be confused with Goku because he looked identical to him.
Yep.
That leads me to believe that that would be somewhat near that point in time where Goten got the makeover. So this is like not too much before the Oob tournament.
That would make sense.
But
Because this still kind of has to be between the Oob tournament, doesn't it?
but
Because
the only problem though, Thundershot, of what you were saying is that you remember that Bulma at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, this is a very small detail, but she said, Goku, I haven't seen you in 5 years. And that was like at the beginning of when they went to go to that tournament. So if this is going along the same lines as that actual episode, then this would have to be at least 5 years before.
How long was it?
Wasn't because
Which means that Beerus could not have been asleep for 3 years. That's all I was going to say.
well, no. What I was gonna say is
But that-
10 years passed between the tournament, and when she said I haven't seen you in 5 years, she was referring to the Battle of Gods events. Yeah, because that was on her birthday.
Exactly. But what I'm
Yeah,
saying
this-
is that since Battle of Gods comes 4 years after the defeat of Majin Buu, then that means that Beerus could not have slept for 3 full years then. Because that would
Yeah,
mean it would be
it-
like 3 years before Bulma saw Goku. So that just causes an inconsistency there. That's all I was saying.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Yeah.
What was I? Oh, real quick to get a kind of fanny. They teased it in GT, and I don't care if they're super strong or they like. Part of me is okay if they're super strong or not super strong as their fused Super Saiyan 3 form. But they teased a teenage Gotenks in GT, but they never did it. Goten walked up to Trunks. He's like, Trunks, do you want to do some fusion? And then Goku called him off. He's like, I'm Super Saiyan 4. Let me do it. But it's something that we could actually see. Even if they're not strong, I'm curious to see what a teenage Gotenks
All I
would
know
look like.
is,
Yeah.
all I know is, a lot of people are going to be excited. If that's really Goten, a lot of people will be excited because I know a lot of people in the Dragon Ball Z world really love Goten, and I know right now people, right this second, somebody's commenting, "Oh my God, I love Goten." I'm still freaking excited that Goten is on cover. If that's really him.
Wouldn't it suck so much, guys, if that was actually Yamcha?
Yamcha just got some surgery, some vitamin E put on. Their scars are gone.
You know,
now.
'cause I thought it was Yamcha at first until someone told me on Twitter, like, "Yo, he doesn't have any scars." I'm like, "Oh my God, you're right." You're right.
But what about Krillin, though? I mean, why is he not bald?
You know-
I mean, why is he bald, I mean?
The thing that I want to point out is something else to consider is this could also be a flashback, because it's bald Krillin, and that could actually be Gohan when he was a kid around the time, because he has the bowl cut around the time when they were actually on Namek. So I mean I don't know why he has a green suit, but it could also be Gohan in the past.
Beerus and Whis?
No, Gohan and Krillin. That part could be a flashback.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Half this movie could take place back in the.
No.
I don't know.
We'll
That's
have to
goofy.
find out, but I can't wait to read everybody's theories. So everybody watching,
My vote is-
say everything you want to say about this. About this poster, about what we said. Like we want to read what everything you guys say. So make sure you blow up the comment section with your theories and thoughts and feedback.
My final bold prediction that I'll make before we close this out is I predict that Frieza's not going to be killed. I predict that he's going to be sealed away.
Ooh.
And I think that that's going to cause an inconsistency with Frieza being dead in GT. That's all I say.
Ooh.
Thus erasing GT
I
from
hope that
existence.
happens because I really just want to just delete GT completely. One more last question from me, and then Thunderstruck can have his last call too. This is a question for everybody watching: Super Saiyan God Goku or Super Saiyan God Vegeta? Let me know in the comment section below. Pick one. Who do you want?
Or Super Saiyan God Piccolo.
or Super
Saiyan
Kami
Namekian.
Piccolo. Like, let us know in the comment section below which character you're going to root on for the most. Super Saiyan God Goku or Super Saiyan God Vegeta? Thundershot. Any last?
Super Namekian Piccolo is Super Kami Guru from Team 4 Star. Anyways, no, my last thing is there are so many thoughts and so many questions that come from just this poster. I don't even think we've covered half of the stuff that we could be talking about out of just everything that we get from this poster, all the possibilities, what news are we going to get in the future. So keep an eye out on our channels for more things like that. But all of our channel links are going to be in the description down below.
Yep.
Yes, definitely. And we'll also link you to, I'm probably going to do like videos like this with other people as well. So stay tuned for Black and Fist as well, because we might also do a collaboration.
Yep. Okay. And of course, if you guys enjoyed these videos, make sure you punch the like button in the face. Punch it so hard like you're trying to achieve Super Saiyan, but make sure you don't punch it too hard because you'll break your computers. And if you do that, then you won't be able to watch these videos anymore. But just tap the like button if you want, or punch it. And we'll see all you awesome Super Sandwiches in the comment section below.
And please remember,
This is my favorite
to
part.
rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say in every single video, to have a Saiyan day, guys.